and gentlemen, boys and girls, all the pronouns and the verbose people out there, welcome to our podcast called Casual Minds. So we have today boys in the house. All right, we are on a topic. We have a topic of discussion, and we're going to discuss just boy gangs, discussing today on friendship. But before we get into this topic of today, again, please feel free to comment, share your stories, whatnot. Even sometimes if you want to rant, you can do that. Absolutely no. But be, what do you call that? Generous. Don't be very mean, right? Just be generous, cool, right? So yeah, back to the topic with the boys. Let's do that. All right. So the topic of our discussion is friendship overrated in today's age of self-obsession? So I think the topic itself is very self-explanatory. Mm-hmm. General thoughts. Let's start with you, Bonnie.
It's a very, I think, sensitive topic.
Right.
Yeah, but I generally I don't think like friendship is overrated because I am lucky enough to have really good friends in my life, and they have always supported me, and they have been like rock solid with me since my school time. So for me, it is never overrated, but maybe in today's day and time, it's difficult to find good friends. So, but I have been personally lucky enough.
Well, no, the reason I'm asking is that because do you think it's because of the self-obsession? Do you think in today's age, right? Of course, we can't deny the fact that we are more into the me culture. Me culture as in self-obsession of ourselves, or we are busy with ourselves more. Mm-hmm. So, do you think with respect to that, the friendship or the way how the friendship was looked at has diminished, or with your personal experience, it seems that it is all right? It has not really had that an effect.
To me, it hasn't happened, but I have seen people
in and
around me go through that.
Right.
So, but I'm not a judge why it happens, but probably maybe one of the reasons. Yeah, we even with the advent of social media. So
right.
Nowadays we are made into a little bit more self-obsessed. So in that sense. Although I'm not sure, maybe people are much more sensitive with their own egos, and with real friendship, if your friendship is really true, it's just not about spending good time and having a good company. It's also about your friends. If they really care about you, when you are doing something wrong with your own life, they are probably going to hold a mirror, right? So to most people, it is those moments where they cannot take it. So, but yeah, I have, as I told you, that I have been lucky enough that probably I am a little bit, I don't know if I should call myself better in navigating such situation. But to me personally, I really like that. Why I like that? Because to me,
like what? Like
when my friends hold mirror to me that if I'm going wrong somewhere, it's not about my ego at that time. To me personally, it makes me feel like they really care about me.
That is an interesting thing. That thread we will topic later on in our part, right? Because that is something that we can delve on. But generally, what do you think about the topic?
I think as he mentioned that he is lucky, and I think I am also a part of that group itself, right? So I consider myself lucky that we have gotten friends who have been sticking together for a while, irrespective of situations, and we only don't stick around just for having fun, right? So during our tough time also we are together, and if somebody has some sort of issue at any point of time, we've always reached out and helped everybody, or like that's a specific friend, right? But I also believe in
good or the bad times.
But I also believe that what he specifically mentioned about this portraying or showing a mirror to you, right? That if they were going on a wrong path or something that you don't like, or something that you're doing wrong, right? So I think this ego thing is very important, because that is where the self-obsession part comes in, right? And I have also seen people in my life, who I used to call friends, right? And they have kind of gone completely siloed themselves and everything. Like they have went away from the life and like took a escape from the friendship and everything, because they did not accept the fact that we were guiding them, or at least telling them that these are the points where you might be doing wrong, or like we are not only those friends who will be like, okay, chalo, let's go party, right? Also those friends who are kind of helping you identify places where there can be some sort of improvement, or at least giving some sort of suggestion, or maybe an observation also, right? So I think these are kind of people, I think, who are kind of self-obsessed, and I'm not saying that's bad or good, right? But I think, yeah, this topic itself holds a lot of potential, because this is actually very sensitive, because nowadays we believe that people have gotten into a phase where, and I think this has to do a lot because of the modern culture that we are into right now, right? And it helps people to stay with themselves a lot more than you can be with friends and have an open and a broader mindset. So yeah, I think that's what
fair enough. I mean, I get your point. Both of you have been saying that yeah, irrespective, at least the fact that your own personal experiences, it has been that you have been lucky to find. But then again, the whole idea of that friendship is that both of you have been stressing on the word luck. So now it seems then it is not that easy to find good friendship, because at the end of the day, if people are busy with themselves.
I just like to mention one more thing. Just when you stressed on the point of luck, right? I also think that it's
work towards
not
it.
just luck. We have worked a lot towards it, because just I think I have discussed this with him multiple times, that to create a group or to hold on to that group, there are certain people who put lot more effort than the others are doing that, right?
Absolutely.
And
it's a lot of work.
Lots of work, and it's like, okay, I know today if I'm putting effort for this group, right, this is going to stick for long, right? And this will happen, and I'm not saying that I'm the only one who has done that, but I have been there and I have done that.
Fair enough. Well, we'll circle back to that as well on our next segments and whatnot. But now, what I wanted to ask was, say, considering what I mean, even though the kind of this topic that we're talking about, like we will be having some kind of time for ourselves, right? So, has it ever been a moment wherein you have been self-obsessed, or you have been more involved on yourself rather than on your friend or friendship? Has there ever been where you have said, nah, that's it, I'm gonna be for myself right now, and for that, if I have to ignore my friends or friendship, so be it. Has it ever happened? What do you think?
Yeah, I think there can be instances. I won't say that I've always given preference to my friends over me and all, right? Because I think these are very tough calls you make in your life,
right?
And there will be days where you will have to prioritize yourself or your family or your partner, or something which is very individualistic, right? You are doing something. Let's
your
say,
partner can be a friend too.
Exactly, partner can be a friend, right? But I'm just talking about general friend, like not a partner, right?
The bro love.
The bro,
as always, the bro love between these two for some reason.
Yeah, not just two. Like
and he's accepting it. Yeah. With the hug and cry and whatnot.
See, love is there.
Yeah,
love is there. But
two people, two men now, justifying bro love. But I get it.
Yeah. Jokes apart, so the thing I was talking about is that yes, I have been into those challenging places in my life. So my father, like technically, I'll give you an instance. So my father is not really fit. He has multiple problems, right? So I'll tell you a basic instance. So before my wedding, so my friends, they kind of arranged a bachelorette for me, right? And they had put in a lot of effort to do that, and I got to know bits and pieces, because they supposedly wanted to be a surprise.
Right.
But I got to know bits and pieces what they're doing, and also I know they're putting a lot of effort, and a lot of planning is going on, like around 9-10 guys, and not just guys, there were my female friends as well. So what
he's specifying it. It's not just guys. It's not just bro bloody. The women were also there. Yeah.
Equality in a group is there. So
right. That's what you say.
So what happened? That day, my father was not feeling well since morning.
Right.
Okay? And they had booked a place, decorated it, and all of those stuff. Right? We were supposed to stay that night with all our friends and on a party and all of those things. Right? So what happened? Somehow my father's health deteriorated so much that he had to be hospitalized. Right? So I told them, and they were like, "Okay, let's cancel it. You prioritize your dad." I was like, "No, you guys have done so much, but for that instance, I tried to balance both, but I can't be on both the places at the same time, right? So what I did, I said, okay, you guys have put in so much effort. I'll come, but I'll just admit my father. I'll make sure he's fine, he's safe, he has gotten all the care that's needed, right? So the time when I'll go home and sleep, I'll try to come up to you guys and at least have some time because so much because this day is not never going to come back again, right? No matter whatever I do. Right? So
the responsible rebel, balancing life. Father is also important, friends are also important. Which makes sense. This is amazing.
So this is kind of an example where I was choosing my father over my friends, obviously, because that was priority. But I also tried to do some extra effort and my friends as well. So
Bonnie, I have a question though. Do you ever feel, in your friendships, that sometimes they can become a burden? Has it ever felt to you like, oh my God, now this friendship is like a burden? Irrespective. Has it ever happened that, I have to do this now for the sake of friendship, but I do not want to do it? Has it ever happened? Has it ever been a situation like that to you?
I would not like to use the word burden, but as he mentioned, like even in his case, that was a difficult scenario that he has navigated in a very balanced manner, and all kudos to him. There has been situation like that, but I never felt.
And how would you deal with that? So you would also try to balance it, or would you be like, say, no, I can't do it? Or, even if you do not. So you guys have never come across a situation in your friendship wherein out of obligation, you're doing something. Is that what you're saying?
No, I personally have never felt it like an obligation.
All right.
And why I will tell you, because I am very much emotionally invested, right? If something happens to somebody who is let's say in my family, right? So that makes you go through that challenge, right? To say and that's because why I have been able to pull it off, because I have consciously kept very lesser number of friends, because I know that time is limited in every one of our lives. So that is the reason that I have built relationships where I have not given that access to my life to too many people, but the ones who have that. So
you will go the distance for them.
Yeah, right. And I don't. It's difficult at times. I would never, but I would say that. That's what you do when you feel it emotionally, right? You don't feel it like a work you are doing. Yeah. So you are just like, anyhow, I will have to balance, like he did, like the instant he gave, right? So it's the same.
So make an effort. At the end of the day, you still have to, whether it be your best friend or as long as if they are in your circle,
the difficult thing is that you can't fake it. So when you are giving that effort, you also can't think that too much consciously, right? If you love that person, it should come naturally.
Good that you actually came up with that. That was another aspect of it, which will circle back. I don't know how many times I have to circle back to that. Right. But the next one, which comes to me, is the next part of this, which comes to my mind is this whole concept of the boundaries where you set up. I'll start with you, right? How do you is it difficult for you guys to actually have those boundaries when you know that no, this is me time, and this is then after this will be me time, rather than hiding. So what I mean by that is, so is it easy for you to have those boundaries, or is it like, okay, if I cannot meet them, it's better that I hide? So I stop contacting them, I stop being with them because I need my me time. Yeah. But I unfortunately cannot now talk to them. If I tell them, they will not understand for whatever reasons. Yeah. So I will better just, hide myself.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's the thing of putting efforts, and it's a big part of putting effort, I guess. And that's why it takes years and years to build that kind of friendship. And all of us, we have a very small group, like 4 to 5 people. So it took years for us to go, come to that place.
Right.
And I don't know, I don't want to give any advice because I don't know how we came here. I can't give a blueprint or a roadmap. Right. But probably
I guess it's different for different people.
Yeah, it's different. But probably I can only share what we did.
Yeah, of course.
So how we dealt with it is that don't be pretentious. Like surrender. When you are not able to do something, don't hide it. Like if you need your time, if that is a bare minimum expectation that they are so good friend of yours that they will understand. Now if I am like I'm hiding something and I'm giving them some other reason, so that makes your life more complicated. So for example, right now I'm in a to me I'm in a bit difficult phase in my life. So there are certain situations where I'm not able to join them in certain plans, right? So if now I'm like I'm putting up excuses which are made up or which are like fake, and if they come to know that, then they will obviously feel hurt. So that's the reason I just surrendered to them. I just put to them that what I'm going through, and most of the times, not most of the time, all the times they understand. But yeah, still there are situations they will try to convince me, and that's a part we like even.
Sometimes true. Yeah, that's what you make them do it.
Yeah.
Another, tell me, have you ever ghosted anybody amongst your friends? I mean, has it ever been that in my friends that, and if you have ever ghosted, or if anybody has ghosted anybody, do you find it acceptable in friendship?
Okay, so before I jump into this, I want to put in one more point here. So I think this analogy has been used multiple times in multiple places. So I also I'm a firm believer of that too. So let's say there's a circle, right? There's another inner circle, there's another inner circle, and there is a last circle in between. Core circle, right? So I believe there are very selective and very few people in this core circle who are my like friends I can give my life for and all of those. Right. There are a couple of other people who are in the next circle, then the next, and they're the one who are the farthest. And when I talk about them,
they're the least important.
Maybe some colleague with whom you hang out a couple of days in a week or something of that sort, right? But you can't consider that person as colleague or a stranger because you are kind of friends with that person. Acquaintances.
They're more like acquaintances.
Acquaintances also, right? Yeah.
So we are very clear about that.
Inner circle, outer circle, the core group.
And the thing is that core group is fixed.
Right.
And people kind of jump from inner the last circle to second last and all of those things, right? That keeps happening. Why I'm saying this?
Right.
So when you talk about ghosting, right?
That's a lot of science.
Yeah.
Not science.
So the thing is, you don't think about it very consciously.
Like, do you guys have a cult or what? Alright, the ones in this has to be like fucking outer circle. If you pass this, confirm this, then you get to the next level.
That's the whole beauty of it, that you are not very.
So you have a cult.
You don't have a cult. but if we have, we'll surely put in the link there.
Please do join.
Absolutely.
And to join, you will watch all the episodes of the podcast first.
Yeah, the mystery unravels how to join. Because I've been fucked, so yeah.
So the beauty of this entire idea is that you don't think about it very consciously.
Right. It's just that.
You know about your core circle. But does that mean I have only 5 friends? No. They are like my family, my friends, my bhais and all, right? And I have other friends. And when you ask about this thing, ghosting, right?
Ghosting,
so, see, my definition of ghosting would be like I would not talk to a person and that will go for a lifetime.
No.
I would kind of ignore a person for a while. Let's say I'm into a fight with a friend. Right. And I would believe that, okay, you have...
That friend is a core friend or outer circle friend?
So that can be a core friend or outer circle friend as well. Because why I'm talking about the ignoring thing and all? Because there will be times when you will start to take your friends for granted. That will happen. And anybody you start to love or start to believe a lot or start to give a lot of access to your life, right? You start to take them for granted. That happens, right? And that can happen for me and also for that other person, right?
Absolutely.
And there will be fights, there will be disturbances in your friendship and all of those things, right? So at that time, I think certain level of ghosting that you have mentioned, and I would call it ignoring or something, right? That needs to be done or that should happen so that
they understand the
value of your friendship, right? And that is also valid for your partner and all, right? Because
so it's like a what do you call that? It's like it's like some kind of a revenge that you're taking. Oh, you did this to me.
No, exactly.
Now I'm gonna ghost you.
Now that's the thing.
So that he understands that, or she understands that.
This is not,
that so?
Not from a point of revenge, because when you think of revenge, you always try to teach him a lesson, right? Okay, now you understand how it feels, right? So and revenge always be like, okay, you have hurt me, I'll hurt you back.
Right.
So it's
This
not
is
like
more,
that.
more about making them realize or
Make
like
them realize
self-indulgence.
and not doing the same thing to
I
him.
have a follow on that.
Yeah, sure.
You were trying to make him realize, right?
Correct.
What happens if? So you ghost, right? And then he says, "Oh, he has ghosted
Not
me."
just randomly ghosting. I'm informing that person. Okay. So
How will you inform that I'm going to ghost you?
Not like that. Not like
So
that.
you're
Like,
gonna
let's
let
say
him know.
you're having a fight, right?
Right.
So you're having a fight. You have resolved
And you
it all,
stopped talking
and
to
you have
him.
resolved it. The fight is
Resolved,
resolved. As in
okay.
like you have come to terms. Okay, let's agree to disagree
Okay.
on this and not something
Right.
of that sort, right?
Right.
Now maybe the next 2 days you guys are not talking, right?
But you've resolved it, so why wouldn't you?
Not
talk?
resolve, like agreed on a fact that not resolve. Okay, resolve is a wrong term.
Okay.
So you guys have agreed on a fact that okay, let's agree to disagree. Nobody's accepting
No, that's
your
fair
opinion.
enough,
That's
right?
fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
fair enough.
but you have some conflict with that person. Okay,
Yeah,
all
that
that-
happens. It's human.
yeah, that happens.
I
Right?
get
That's
that.
a very human nature, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
You're pushing a person. Okay, you have to believe my thoughts, man, and he's like, no, you have to believe mine. But nobody's understanding me. Okay, chalo, you be your. But deep down, you're like.
And hence, that's what you do. That
Yeah.
you're a ghost, and he also goes. So, yeah, it can happen. But
No, but what was the question?
I mean, the follow-on question was that both the parties
I would
were
like to just add one
ghost,
thing on this one. So I don't know how many years we are together, right, as friends. So we have lost. At least I have lost count, and to me is like much more of like a brother, and I'm sure that's for him as well. But there has been like couple of instances among all these years where we also had some fights, right? It was not. It was
Disagree
never
to agree.
Yeah, disagree to agree. It was never.
Sorry,
that-
agree to disagree.
Yeah, agree to disagree.
to agree.
No, it was never that.
Agree to disagree. Sorry.
It was never that ugly, but most of the time it was like when one of us was going through a much more emotional
Upheavals and
upheaval
whatnot.
in our
Right.
lives, and at that time when like we are talking,
Happens.
right?
Mm.
So now the other person is not going through that, right?
Mm.
So that person will be neutral,
Mm.
but sometimes you do have the expectation that
Support
you
me.
know that
Yeah.
no matter what he
Mm.
will support me.
Mm.
So at that time we did have misunderstanding.
Again, I
So-
have to come back to that. Circle
Yeah,
back.
yeah, but
Because it was
no, but we never
Three
like
times
consciously
circling.
ghosted. It has been
But
like,
just happened.
it just
I get
happened
your point where you're coming
like
from.
max not more than 2 or 3 days. But then when we reached out again, and I guess in back of the mind, both of us knew that we are gonna again get back to each other.
Yeah.
But that was a much sensible thing to do rather than keep on dragging and talking about it at that very moment and all.
Fair enough.
So yeah.
No, my follow-on was that, but I think it was on a different one. But then fair enough. Let's move on. Now, the another part that comes into this, me versus we, right, is do you find it normal? I mean, to have fights or disagree or what do you call it, dislike your best friend? Do you think dislike sometimes? Oh my God, I just do not like him today.
Okay.
For whatever reasons. It's not like, oh, I do not like him because he's not wearing something good, but it's just out of something. Maybe when you guys had a fight or whatnot, agree to disagree moment, when you have that, do you, at that point of time, if you dislike each other, do you find it normal for the best friends to dislike each other sometimes? I'll use the word sometimes.
Did you ever consciously feel like dislike that I consciously
I
have
don't know,
never
like,
given it thought?
how do you even dislike? It's like I
Yeah.
hate that person.
Right. Yeah, at that point of time, I just cannot see your
Maybe
face.
that's like when the peak moment of an argument has
Yeah.
happened.
And you find it to be normal. So don't you go back and do you think that, oh, fuck, how can I? He's my best friend, and why am I feeling so bad about him? Why do I feel that hatred towards him? So there's no guilty thing. You find that's normal.
I would never say that I
But
feel hatred.
not hatred, but
Yeah.
It has never come to
I
that
like-
stage.
maybe if you are in front of me, I have victory. So something of that happened. Yeah,
You have done that's
yeah,
normal.
that
That's
happens.
normal.
But
All right.
neighbor came back and was like, why I did that? Oh my God, how can I feel like that about him?
Because
So
it never
that
happened.
never happened.
No, but we don't keep revisiting that once it's over. That's
But you
like
find it
natural.
normal if two best friends fight, dislike each other. That's all. I'm just asking. It happens. Yeah. I mean,
But
yeah.
I
I
think
think
dislike is very, very strong.
Strong
right?
word.
Yeah.
So, like-
so,
I don't know. Like,
it has to be like, yeah. For example, when you guys agree to disagree, so it is like, are you civil enough to say, okay, fair enough?
no.
So
I'm not.
no,
Maybe
no,
he
but-
is,
but-
I'm
so-
not.
Then you're
No,
not
but
at that
we-
point of time.
Did you feel dislike? Like
It's like if you define dislike in a way that
You must have felt angry at that
No,
moment.
I felt like, man, I don't like this person. Yeah. For now, that has happened.
That's really...
Yeah. Maybe now he'll feel better. Oh, he has felt like this about me.
No. That's the thing. Like, you don't overthink.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen. I mean, the clink in the best bro love. It's just not friendship, my friends. It is love, bro love. All right. I mean, damn, how gay is that? But nevertheless, it's all right. Love is everywhere. So yeah, finally, then it brings me back to the final segment, and the final segment is where all that circling back will come down to. So whatever the topics we were thinking of.
Back.
Yeah, remember what was the first circle that I said we have to come back? All right, no, the first one is, which pretty much is very interesting. All right, this one I'll start with you. Toxic positivity when it comes to friendship. You know, so with toxic positivity, I mean, sometimes how you feel the need to support your friend, even though when you know that he's wrong. Or both of you, or everybody, the entire group of friends are doing something wrong, but still, supporting each other.
It's a very, very tricky thing to do.
Yeah. Right.
Because how do I explain this? So the thing is, when you are friends with a person for such a long time, right? You always feel like, okay, this is my brother, and I'll be honest to him, and I'll be telling him things up front.
Right.
And there has been days where the other person has felt terrible about things I've said to him, right? That you're not doing this thing correctly.
Right.
Might be his acceptance was not there and all of those things. But I believe in this thought, right? But recently, like in the last 1 year or 2 years, and I've seen that thing in myself as well, that there are situations where, like he mentioned, right, that you will be in a situation that is so important and so vulnerable for you.
Yeah, got it.
I might not understand that because I am not able to simulate your situation, right? I can only understand. I am not there in your place.
Totally.
But at that time, what you think? He's my brother. I'll say everything honestly to him, right? Like, bro, you're not doing this correctly. You should have done this. That person might flip or might
a bit
react.
of sensitivity is required.
Exactly. Maybe you come and tell him,
right.
okay, things will be better, things will be fine, I'm there, man, you understand all. Then maybe later when he has gone, he has visited his emotional past properly and he has come out of it, maybe you explain to him the thing that you've done back that time. Maybe you could have done it in a different way, or just an opinion from my side, right? Maybe not saying him at that moment and keeping it for later and come up. It's not that you are saying something which is what is it, like
supporting him unnecessarily,
being dishonest or supporting his toxicity, right?
Yeah. But you will say the truth at the end of the day. Maybe not immediately, but maybe you will give some time. But eventually, you will come up and say that what is wrong is what's wrong.
And this only depends on people who you think you genuinely care about. Somebody you don't give a lot of fucks, right? You might not think, okay, why I'll go and
you would always like to be likable to them.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. And that likability means eventually to talk about things that they want to hear.
Yeah. So to me, at least,
and that is the same with you as well. Like with this respect to toxic
positivity. At least if I care about that person, I first.
No, I'm sorry. I'll just interrupt. You answer that. But say I give you a situation, all right? I think it will be better to simulate. Say, I mean, what we are talking now, or what Rubel has said right now, is the fact that when it comes to the best of the best friends, the core group, again, if I have to simulate, getting back to those circles, inner, outer circles. So inner circle, the innermost, inner sanctum, right? Fair enough. You're going to be very upfront to them and whatnot. But is it the case as well with the outside circle? I mean, so with the outside circle, will you be like, that this is not how the thing should have been done, and you're gonna still support? I mean, toxicity support.
Not gonna do it. Why?
So it's gonna be still. You're gonna just support the truth or the right thing.
We are not gonna support. Obviously, if we don't think that is right, but we will be a lot more diplomatic. Yeah.
So you're right. So you will just recluse yourself from the situation and let them do whatever.
A lot more diplomatic, right? Because but when it's about the people who really give, like it's like I care. I really care about that person. So no matter what, there will be instances where if you really do care for that person, you will even risk your own relationship with that person, because still you gotta say that what you feel. Now, not necessarily what you are gonna say to that person is the right thing, but you just can't pretend, right? And if you like pretend, then you are not being truthful to the entire relationship.
But that's only for your core groups.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah.
that is an interesting
But
aspect as
also,
well.
that's just one thing. I have also there has been days and time where I have also been extremely honest with this outer
Group as well.
right?
Yeah.
And that has actually made me lose a lot of friends.
Friends. Yeah.
And
Does it
and
bother when you do lose friends?
Actually, it doesn't bother because it's a way that when you think that if you're coming honest to your friend and you are explaining something that is he might not be doing correctly in his life or maybe anything that is doing wrong or something, right? And if that from that person is that okay, I'll just you're ghosting him completely. So I don't think there was a true friendship ever. Right?
Yeah,
So,
makes sense. Yeah.
And that's why the reason I told we are very selective in that, not because of the time constraint, because time is limited for everyone in life, right?
So, and have become that selective with time as well as with
Yeah.
age.
Because you cannot
older we have
extend
gone, we have
yourself
understood
like
that
to everyone.
keep less high quality friends.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does work, and sometimes I mean, sometimes it makes me also ask this question: whether social media is really helping making good friends, or is it like reducing true friendships and real friendships and whatnot? Do you think that?
At least I don't know. Like I might have a bias.
Right.
So I have seen very few people becoming true friends through social media.
Really? So
Yeah.
you think that's just not a possibility?
No,
It just
it's
cannot
not like you just can't rule out that thing. But I have seen it.
maybe here's the point. It's very
Right.
difficult. I mean, can you just make friends through Instagrams? Maybe you can.
I
Like true
think,
friends,
I think
true
when,
friends.
when Instagram and Facebook
Because if you can have partners
yeah
from Instagram,
that's
dating
where I was
sites
coming.
and all, yeah.
You cannot have partners just by chatting on
Oh,
Insta.
yeah, that's
you
true.
need
You have to
Yeah.
meet that person physically.
Yeah.
And I'll just give you an instance when
That you need to follow
Facebook-
everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when Facebook, Insta, initially there was Orkut, right? That was the first social media
Ancient
platform.
dinosaur age.
Yeah, it's no more.
Right,
Yeah. So
right.
at that time, I remember people were so accessible.
Oh.
Like you could reach out to people and hey, hi, hello, man. This is new platform. How are you? And like,
Right.
everybody's friends.
Can I add one thing? I think even with social media, as we age, the more you age, it makes it more difficult. It's just not about social media because that
With age, yeah, definitely. I mean, that is a different altogether part.
No,
Whether
you
you can
lot of
actually
time.
make friends when
Yeah.
you're older.
right.
Here's the point in that. So no, I'm talking about with respect to if you're like your generation of
I had a couple of friends, but I don't have them now.
now, right?
Somehow, at that time, I had many friends, and a few I met like physically as
Makes
well.
sense.
I don't know, someone just lost touch.
That happens, I guess. I mean, yeah, but then maybe is it also possible that, anyways, guys, I think we have to wrap up. But then final this thing. Do you think also that because now you both of you, all right, or you have a core group of friends and whatnot, and you know that this group of friends is as long as I am happy with them, or I keep this core group of friends, I really do not care about the outside, other people.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But do you reckon the thoughts can change if the core group breaks, and then you know that okay, I need to now make other friends as well? May or may not happen, which is
if we go through that, then we will.
That's a
which you can
very
come to know. Which you can come to know only if you follow the podcast. That how is the lives of Rubel and Bonnie.
I would
and
like to
Ben.
add one thing. So in friendship, like if you really want to build those kind of relationship,
Right.
which is like much
Never
more
all
real
lost.
and true.
Yeah.
So
Long lasting.
yeah, you need to be truthful and you need to go through the ups and downs like any other relationship, right? So you just can't be like impatient and give up. Then you can't build a long-term relationship.
Totally.
And also,
Fevicol Kajor.
yeah, and also one more thing, like when you are spending good time with your friends, when they are going through bad times, so it just like you cannot also simulate that. It should naturally come to you that is something. It's also personal to you.
True.
And if that is there, then I guess we will be blessed with.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. I understand. And we had I think it's high time now we actually wrap up. It's been a pretty long discussion that we had. So at the end of the day, what we have come to know is that fact after this discussion is that, every friendship has that sweet spot, and wherein you know when to give him space and when to, tell out your heart, when to be supportive and when to just give that space to him or to her, whatever it might be. So yeah, with that, I guess it's enough. We are going to wrap up for today. Yeah, and please, again, as usual, do comment and share. And share this everything with your friends as well. You know what I mean? Share
Whole
this,
group.
whole group. And share this podcast as well with your friends. You know, spread the love. Need not be just bro love. Every kind of love. Alright. So yeah, till our next episode. Cheers. Bye. Cheers.